Hello and welcome to Ditch Witch Diaries. We are back again and we're doing some most amazing trees. I'm so excited to share them with you. So the first one that we're going to do this week is Blackthorn. So let me just share my screen. Okay.
I love that font.
I know, me too. I was stoked. There was all these like little thorns. I'm like, that is
Yeah.
actually pretty rad.
Perfect.
Blackthorn. So blackthorn is a type of prunus, which is like a plum. So Prunus spinosa. Okay, so this is the botanical drawing, and that's what it looks like in full bloom. And then those are those big spines, and then these are the fruits. And we're going to talk about both more. Um, anyway, a lot more. So the surly blackthorn is a wanderer, a wood that the artificer burns not. Throughout his body, though it be scanty, birds in their flocks warble. And that's from the violent death of Fergus MacLeody.
Okay.
So the parts used, like all parts are used for something. And other names is Straif, Mother of the Wood, Dark Mother of the Woods, Sloe, Wishing Thorn, and Bellicum, which means to attack or charge in Latin. And the correspondences, so there was a little bit of a some like disagreement here. So the elements, Briggs says fire and Franklin says earth. You be the judge. Planets, Jupiter says, Briggs says Jupiter, and Franklin and Boyer both say Saturn. And the astrological signs I could find are Virgo, Aries, and Scorpio. And the tarot. So the tarot like were interesting, like Tower because it's like about upheaval and about like creating new boundaries and something being like major overturned and kind of like done. And so, and then the hermit is about darkness and solitude. And we're going to see like that there's like this is a dark tree. So blackthorn is like correct for this. It is, I love this tree, by the way. So, and we don't have any here. So we're going to talk about that too. We don't have blackthorn.
Ew.
So, and the whole suit of swords as well. The chakra, I feel like root, every tree like talks
Yeah.
about root. So, but this is also about boundaries and it's a huge boundary tree and primal survival and the heart. It's supposed to be heart, not hearth, but there you go. The heart chakra, because it's like part of it is used to like process dammed up emotions. And then certainly the third eye, we're going to see because this tree is tied to the other world, to it's tied to winter, it's tied to parting the veil. It's like all those things. And I don't know who got Ostara in there, but Samhain and Yule for sure, and the waning year. I'm sure one person said
Oh,
Ostara.
Star is just so like happy.
I know this is not Ostara energy at all, but the waning year.
Hmm.
So the goddesses that are associated with this tree are the Fae in general, and we're going to talk about specific Fae that are associated with these. And you know what? It's interesting because rarely do we go into specific Fae. So we're going to
Hmm.
really dig deep. Queen May, Caradwyn, the Caliach, Beira, the Morgan, Triple Goddess, all of them, God, and any goddesses of winter. So the moon phase, again, waning. This is like going towards the dark. Like it moves towards the dark. It is blackthorn, and we're going to contrast this with what might be whitethorn. So we've talked about it. So August, but it's also an Ogham tree, and the moon time, the moon like period for this Ogham tree is August 26th to September 22nd. So that's why you can see the tie-in probably to Virgo
Hmm.
is because that's during that time. So the crystal or stone I could find was black opal or bloodstone. And that's it. So plant information. So this is it's super interesting. The flowers emerge before the leaves, which is a unique trait. And there are so many dyes that you can get from this tree. So I just love it. Like there's like a bunch. So from the leaves, you can get green dye and you can get a dark gray or a green dye from the fruit.
Mhm.
Okay. So it said the bark boiled in alkali, but that's like not really true. Like it depends on how you do it. It says it yields yellow, but we're going to talk about this amazing red dye because it's best known for that. So the flowers give you a deep orange by boiling them in an aluminum mordanted wool for several hours.
Mm.
But this red dye is what it's really known for. So you're going to soak, like the bark is supposed to be dried for over a year, first of all. And then you're going to soak the bark in an alkaline solution and like for a long time. Like we're going to, and let it ferment for days.
Mm.
So like, and then no mordant is needed for it. Like
Mm.
it's gonna dye and I heard it was even like a pinkish red. Like it's a bright red.
Interesting.
And then Franklin says that there's an orange dye that you can get from it with an alum mordant. So
Mm.
this tree is native to Ireland and Europe. And so it's a type of wild plum. There are other types of plums that are um from America. There's like a Prunus americanus, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about hold on, I'm gonna go back. We're talking about the Prunus spinosa, the very specific tree. There's a bunch of different kinds of prunuses, and we're not talking about those prunuses. We're talking about Prunus spinosa. Okay. So this is native to Ireland. Wild plum. Okay. The berries, they're called sloes, okay? And they are smaller than regular plums and they're edible, but they're not like the best. They're not like our plums. They're like a little not good, but a little good. Like it's like kind of like you can eat them and many people do. So, and they use them for other stuff too. But it's a specific time. They taste best after the first frost in autumn. But like I said, it's still like described as a little odd, a little like soury, tarty, bittery, like
Mm.
maybe not the bestie. So
Fair.
okay, so then it is used all over like Ireland and England and Wales and everywhere in Scotland and even in Europe as like this thick hedge. Okay, so the trees can grow and they can grow as like a thick border. Also, they like plant it and they can make like this shrubby border by putting fence posts up first and then winding this blackthorn around the top of the fence post to make like a barbed wire, like a natural barbed wire.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Mm.
So we talked about this. The counterpart to blackthorn is whitethorn, which is thorn or hawthorn. So I will link to our hawthorn presentation right now. So look for it. So obviously you saw they are like large thorns. They have white flowers and dark wood. And this tree, it's said that it's covered in bacteria. So it's not like when you get pricked with the thorns, like it's infection and people would die from septicemia from being pricked by a like blackthorn like tree, like thorn. So be careful with that.
Ooh.
I know. It's not like getting pricked by like a blackberry.
Yeah.
It's like rough, okay?
Mm.
So let's go into like the stories and the lore and the cultural importance. So this one is both for Scotland and Ireland, and this is kind of rad. Okay, so women made that red dye that I was talking about, where you ferment the alkaline solution together. You like the bark sits for a year and then you soak it in an alkaline solution. Well, theirs was stale urine that they used to use. And interestingly enough, I looked it up and it is highly alkaline.
Hmm.
And it would like brighten, they would use that as a mordant to even brighten it further. So they would use, yeah, very interesting.
Hmm. How how long does urine have to sit out before it's stale?
I don't know, probably immediately. I can't imagine that it like, I don't know, it doesn't get any fresher. I tell you that once it's out of you. And there's like a whole thing like, okay, so I also I have read those books, The Clan of the Cave Bear, and
Oh
they
yeah.
used to like tan leather with like part of the tanning process was like
Mm.
used urine as well, stale urine.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. So this is interesting too. This is now we're going just to Ireland, okay? And so the wood of blackthorn is used to make shillelaghs. And if you look to the left, those are shillelaghs. And you can see like they're like prickly and gnarly, and they're like these
Mm.
large clubs that people like beat each other with or beat the enemy with or something. But you can even see like one has like a metal thing attached
Mm.
to it.
Yeah.
Like that's what they were used for. They were used for hitting other people.
Weapons.
They're weapons. The
Okay.
shillelagh is a weapon and it was made with blackthorn. So there's a story. So a man's grain was stolen. Okay. Got stolen by somebody. And so he was upset about it and he fell asleep under a blackthorn tree. And a voice, like in his head or maybe in real life, we don't even know, it came and told him that the Fae took his grain.
Oh
And
no.
then the voice also told him how to get it back. So he did what it said, and we don't know what it said to do, but he did it. However, the Fae, they always take the revenge. So any livestock that ate that grain died.
Dang. Nice.
I know. So sleeping underneath the blackthorn
Mm.
may not give you the smartest ideas.
Likely to meet Faye.
Exactly. So in Ireland, it's very unlucky to bring blackthorn into your home.
Mm.
So there's also this story that involved Queen Maeve. So we've talked about how she's part of the correspondences was that it was attached to Queen Maeve. So the
Mhm.
7 sons of Queen Maeve kept an army at bay by making a fence of blackthorn and briar. So there's this cake that they make in Ireland, and a sloe is baked into the cake on All Hallows Eve. And the person that gets the sloe was supposed to live the longest.
Hmm.
I know. Interesting little treat. You could put a plum in there. I don't know
Hmm.
if it'd be the same though, because it's not the same, because it's not blackthorn. It's Prunus americanus, because we don't have blackthorn sloes. So a stick, okay, so a blackthorn stick was often buried with the dead to keep the dead from arising and to protect the dead in the afterlife. And the dried leaves of blackthorn were used as a tea or a tobacco substitute. So apparently you can drink them and you can smoke them. Okay, so Scotland. So Beira, who is associated also with the Morrigan, so that's like the translate. Beira is the queen of the winter. She
Hmm.
wears this blue veil and has a raven on her shoulder, and she carries a blackthorn staff that she uses to bring storms and bad weather.
Hmm.
And we're gonna like find out that it's associated with bad weather and horrible storms, like all in other places as well.
Hmm.
So here's another story. William Miller of Cromarty explored an underground fairy passage filled with underworld scary creatures. And to protect himself, he sewed rowan and witch hazel into his clothes. He carried the Bible in his right hand and a blackhorn staff in his left. And he had to get this staff, the blackthorn staff, he had to cut on a calm night with a full moon. And he made sure that he wasn't wearing any iron, and that would supposedly repel these underworld creatures. I know. So something to think about if you feel like you're attacked by underworld creatures. So in England, they have a bunch of stories there too. On England, this is another thing about the weather. So they have this thing called Blackthorn winter or Blackthorn winds. And it's bad weather that coincides with the blackthorns blooming. And then on New Year's Day, there's stuff associated with New Year's as well. On New Year's Day, you're supposed to burn a branch, like just a little bit, and then you could bring it in your house for protection. So as long as it was burnt a little bit, just a little bit though. And then there's also like this thing that like you can see in the picture there is that you made a crown with blackthorn twigs on New Year's morning, and then you put it in the oven and then until it became ashes. And then you spread the ashes on your field, and it was supposed to like give you luck for your harvest. And it was supposed to like tell the devil to get out of Dodge, to shoo away from the devil from the field. The devil, devil. And then they also thought it brought good luck. If you added some blackthorn to mistletoe on Christmas, it would bring you good luck. So
interesting that it's like so polar, like
I know
protection and clubs and stuff, but then you have like the person who gets it lives longest and like bringing it together.
Well, it's kind of like a boundary and like a protection for the person who holds it, but like it kind of like tells everybody else to get away. So I feel like there are some things that aren't like that, but this is. And I want you to take note of that sad little, it is, you're going to see how sad it is. It looks nice right now, but it's not nice at all. It's a very sad little frog or toad there. So also in England, so in Worcestershire, if you have a cow and the foot of the cow has rot, which apparently that's a thing, and maybe you know that if you listen to Dr. Pole. You can cut the grass from underneath where it stands and hang it on a blackthorn to rot away. And as it rots away, the cow's foot, like the rot on the foot, will rot away as well. In Norfolk, you can hang a pig's afterbirth on a blackthorn so that the pig thrives. I know, they just get worse. Let me tell you, this one
another boundary
is pretty rough. So in Cornwall, like if you have a blackthorn wand, you can send out like a burst or a blast of protection with a blackthorn wand. Then this is the one. So once upon a time, actually it's not even a once upon a time. Like this is a very secret spell. So you picked a sacrificial toad, and then it was supposed to be impaled on a blackthorn tree on a dark moon. And then once it died, you buried it in an anthill so that it would eat all its flesh and reveal its skeleton. Then you find a stream that's running north to south, and on the next full moon, you throw the skeleton in the water, and one of the bones is going to naturally float against the current. And that bone would be taken out, and the devil would claim it as a magic toad bone. The magic toad bone. Okay. And so a witch would keep their magic toad bone, and you're not supposed to ever let anybody see it. Okay. It was like your magic toad bone that was like claimed by the devil. And then it would give you magic powers over horses and over the opposite sex. So
Hmm.
the magic toad boat.
Interesting.
Very.
Code.
Then in Spain,
Oh.
so witch fires were said to contain blackthorn. Like that was part of like if you're going to burn a witch at a stake, you better include blackthorn in the fire.
Hmm.
In Wales, okay, so women could, this is like a divination method, okay? And so women would take the spikes of the thorns, the blackthorn thorns or spikes, and they would go to a holy well only on Easter Monday. If you don't know what Easter Monday is, it's Easter week. If you don't know when Easter is, it's calculated by some circuitous witchy method that relies on the moon. And so it relies, it's like a certain full moon after a certain period of time. It's a very witchy calculation. Nobody
Hmm.
likes to tell you that, but it's a very witchy calculation. Anyway, on Easter Monday, which is the Monday of that week, okay, you're supposed to throw the spikes into like this holy well. Then all sorts of things you could tell by the spikes floating in the well. If your spike floated, it meant your lover was faithful. Or if they spun around a little bit, it could tell the disposition too. If they spun around a little bit, then your lover was cheerful. If they sunk just a little bit, but not all the way, it meant that you had a stubborn lover. And if
Hmm.
they just plummeted all the way to the bottom, then he was not trustworthy at all. So here's another thing. Let's say you go to the well and you're like, you stumble a bit and your little spikes fall out of your hand and they fall into the well. Well, then it means that your lover's a flirt and unreliable in your relationship.
Oof.
I know. Oof. Lots of things could be told about them.
Hmm.
So it was also the gateway to the land of the dead,
Nice.
which is in this picture. So Onwin, Onwin. So the
Hmm.
gateway to Onwin, the Welsh land of the dead. Then we get to like the Druid meaning and thoughts about this. So this is obviously an Ogham tree. So it for the time is August 26th to September 22nd, like we talked about, and the name is Straif. Okay, so the insight that you gain from this tree is that it enables us to walk within a circle of protection, but beware of the thorns. The divinatory meaning. So if you randomly think of a blackthorn, which I might now, because I really like these blackthorns, okay?
Yeah.
But it's not good because a struggle is approaching or may have just passed. This is not a light struggle, okay, folks? This is a life and death matter for your body, mind, or spirit, okay? You have to use the protective energy of the blackthorn to protect you from this life or death like issue, okay? You have to strengthen your personal shields and face your trials with courage. This is a portent of for sure. Okay, so beware if you're thinking of blackthorn. So the affirmation that you're supposed to say is, "Oh, blackthorn, I may dread the fight, but I know I am protected in body, mind, and spirit." And of course, this is from a Druid's Herbal of Sacred Tree Medicine, Ellen Everett Hopman, which I also found information about this in her book about Samhain too, which was where she
Ooh.
has a book about the herbs of Samhain. So
Does she have a book with like all the sabbats?
I don't know. I don't think so, but it would be
Hmm.
interesting. I'm gonna look it up, but this is the one here. I will. That's the one about Samhain.
Hmm.
It looks like that. Of course, I love Sacred Herbs of Samhain.
Yeah.
Let's see. Share. Share again. Okay.
Yeah, wait,
So,
I want to write the name of that book down.
okay. Well,
Druid's Herbal of Sacred Tree
it's the
Medicine.
Sacred Herbs of Samhain.
Hmm.
Plants to contact the spirits of the dead.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. A very interesting book, to be sure. We used a lot of fun books for this one. I'm going to actually review some of the books when I get done. So
Nice.
there's some other fun ones. So this, according to Druids, Blackthorn is a keeper of all dark secrets as well. And because Straif also, what it means is sulfur. So,
Mm.
yes, which is brimstone. So, in Romany tradition, men would use the sticks to protect them from danger. In Germany, it was called the wishing thorn. So wishing rods could be cut from it. In the Balkans,
Love
me too.
that.
In the Balkans, a blackthorn stake could kill a vampire. And it's just unlucky in general to cut a blackthorn. So what that means to me is you better be pretty damn sure that you got a vampire on your hands if you're going to cut
Mm.
some
Yeah.
blackthorn.
Um,
Okay, in Slavic traditions, you're supposed to sew a bit of blackthorn into your clothes for protection and luck. So protection is huge for this. So we're going to talk about this. Okay, so obviously Fey magic is like a huge thing with this. We talked about Fey. So the branches are the home to the Fey. So and they are the home to very specific Fey, and we talked about this. So like I'm stoked that we even know about these fairies, okay? I like need to look at the varieties of the Fey because these are called the Lunantishes or
mm.
Lunantici. Okay, so they are unfriendly moon fairies, is what these are. Okay, and they punish anyone who cuts a blackthorn stick on May 11th, which is Old Beltane Eve, or November 11th, which is Old Samhain Eve. So they climb up the blackthorn with their long fingers and they curse anybody who comes near. Okay. The only time that they're not around these blackthorn trees is on a full moon because they go to worship the moon goddess Ariana, something like that. So Ariana.
Iron rod?
Yeah.
Mm.
What she said.
Uh,
So obviously, too, the other one is a shield, a barrier, protection, and insulation from harm. So we talked about that first of all, that it's used for a physical boundary. It's like used to like as like barbed wire. It's like a harsh protector, okay? It's like it's gnarly, okay? It has large spikes. It's protection. If you feel like you're being assaulted by a dark witch, this is
mm.
it. This is what you need. You need some blackthorn. So also they said if a witch curses you and she curses you with fleas, the only way to get rid of this flea curse is to go to the river before sunrise and to beat your shirt with a blackthorn stick. Okay? That's the only way.
Mm.
Okay, so if you hang it above the door of your home, or and it's I should have said, and it was harvested on a full moon, it would protect against supernatural evil.
Evil.
Evil. Although it might be unlucky to bring it in your home. So maybe you want to like
Mhm.
do it outside your home, some like
Mhm.
winding, craggly thing outside your home, like
Yeah.
above your door. That might be a fun one. Okay, more. It is a dreadful weapon. Like we saw it. It's a shillelagh, okay? It is a weapon. So it's a tree of darkness and mysterious powers. It's also a goddess tree. Okay, dark goddesses, and I love it. I love it. Okay, give me more. Okay, it's all about the death aspects of the goddess because, of course, like goddesses, like people are like love and light people just like freak me out because
Mm.
it's like they discount like death and rebirth. It's like this
Mhm.
cycle of like everything must die to like,
Yeah.
I
It's
swear.
unbalanced. It's an unbalanced view.
it is an unbalanced view. And for that matter, it's also like a rough view because like
Mm,
everybody that I know that's all love and light has this like weird belief that like you can think your way out of like any horrible dilemma, like even
mm,
like cancer. And let me
mm,
tell you, it's like a shitty fucking thing to do to people to like tell
mm,
people that are suffering with like illnesses or depression or whatever it is, if only your head was in the right place, you wouldn't be
mm.
dying of breast cancer right now. You know what? Screw
Yeah,
you. Like that's
yeah.
horrible. That's like, and you know what? I know tons of love and light people who have like intimated that. They don't ever really want to come out and say it, but they
Mm,
have this idea deep down, like part of like this metaphysical love and light stuff is that you can like because they don't want to admit that death and like and destruction and like all this stuff is like a natural part of the cycle. And so they
mhm.
just want to think that you can like if you just were in your the right place in the right headspace and the right this that darkness doesn't happen. But all
Yeah.
you have to do is look at the moon to
Mhm,
realize that everything gets dark and everything gets light. It's like
mhm,
there's like a cycle, or go out to a compost bin for God's sake.
mhm.
Like, you know, like
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
enough.
I mean, death is like,
Yeah,
you and I agree. Death is very much, it's part of the cycle, and it can be like an ugly and a sad and like a terrible thing, but we still know that it's part of the cycle. And so it's almost like the love and light people kind of like step on both of those aspects because they're like saying, oh, well, if you just, have positive, increase your vibrations and your positive thoughts, and you can think yourself out. And it's like, no, like, first of all, that's not the way that it works. I mean, that I don't believe that that's the way that it works, to each their own, I guess. But
so do I.
yeah, like, we understand that it's part of the cycle, and we can also, like, be sad that somebody can't think their way out of it, because that's the way that we see it.
Yeah, that's the way some things just are. You know what? And I
Yeah.
feel like even with a lot of the times, I think like even with if we're talking about depression and sadness and whatever and grief and like there's like a point of like like feeling your feelings
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like moving through it and
Hmm.
being like I wouldn't say enjoying it, but like like there's like a part of the like maturity of your life
Hmm.
when you realize that you are able to like sit with sadness and sit
Yeah.
with grief and that it's not going like the sad part is when people like can't do that. And I think that's probably it's probably these love and light people if they like can't pray their way out of it or they can't like figure out like what happened, like they probably like those are the people that probably really like suffer the worst from this and
Yeah.
really do desperate things because what happens when you
Yeah.
get hit with something that you can't like love and light your way out of, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I embrace like the aid of the dark goddess, the death aspects of the goddess because it's like almost like refreshing to be able to like walk through it and to be able to like embrace this and to be able to like make it my own. Anyway, and also it's a witch's tree, so there you go.
Yeah.
So dark witches use the blackthorn as a walking stick. So they could curse someone just by pointing this walking stick at them.
Mm.
And if they point, if you were cursed by a dark witch and they pointed a blackthorn like stick at you, they could cause you to miscarry.
Mm.
I know. Maybe the woman wanted to miscarry.
Yeah, maybe she seeked out the
She
witch.
sought out the dark witch. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the 16th century church actually denounced this tree as the witch's tool.
Nice.
So it's actually been canonized. It's
Mm.
actually part of the canon, the Christian canon. This is dark wood. It's the
Nice.
witch's tool. Okay. So fate, its magical property it has for fate. It's a release from strife, but in a way that like you're going through it, it's going to be like rough, like the tower. Like
Mm.
it's like not this is like about getting like going over the side of the tower kind of Straif. Yeah, you're released now.
Hmm.
Better be ready.
Yeah.
The devil, 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 and his weef wife
Hmm.
loaf.
Yeah.
Okay. So the devil, this is a great one. The devil pricks his servants with the spines, and that's how they get the devil's mark. So the devil's mark was used as a way to like burn witches at the stake and hang
Hmm.
witches. Okay. They would, in fact, they even talk about it in the Crucible.
Yeah.
Like looking for the devil's mark, which is
Devil's
like a mole. Okay.
hmm.
So it's like a mole.
Yeah.
Like I would
In
be,
specific
or I have a
spots.
devil's mark right here on my neck. The devil
Yeah.
pricked me.
I know.
Anyway, so I would be burned. But so what it was though, if you have a devil's mark, then it was evidence that a woman was a witch. And by the way, Anne Boleyn had a devil's mark on the back of her neck.
Hmm.
I know. It did not endear her to the population, needless to say. Okay, so also it's a tree to use for cursing. Okay, if you want to curse somebody, you can use the spines to stick into poppets or to wax images or wax candles or okay, this is rough. Craig, this is dark shit, man. Okay, you can place a blackthorn spine in the saddle of a horse to throw the rider. But I suppose
Ooh.
you could use any spine. If you stick
Yeah.
it in there, it's gonna throw.
Yeah.
It's rough, man, rough.
Do you know if the spines are pretty hardy, or like if you try to poke it through something, will it like break? Do you know?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, they're
They're
hardy.
solid. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they're gnarly. Like
Yeah.
people, like I said, you can like think of all the things we talked about. You can hang like you can like impale things on it. They use
Yeah.
it in shillelaghs, like
Yeah.
to like as like spikes to like hit people with.
Mm,
Like it is like they are gnarly those spikes.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
they are if you get them fresh, they like have bacteria all over them too.
Right. Yeah. Hmm.
So the divination. So did the spikes float or not? Remember that divination. Do you have to send somebody to the dark witch?
I
Maybe
would
you
like
do.
to, whether they float or not.
Exactly. You're going to the dark witch. So also wands and wands that are made out of blackthorn are called black rods. Okay. Okay, so that's it for that. So now we're going to go on the medical properties. So this is obviously a disclaimer, okay? We just told you where we're from. We're like from the darkness. Okay, we have no medical training. We're from like I've got a devil's mark on my neck. Like I do not like I'm not to be trusted with medical
Oh
Oh my
God.
god. Okay, so medical properties. So this is like the only part of it that's a mild laxative, and I don't have that list of properties, but whatever. I just didn't feel like putting them together. But
Mm.
because the rest of it is like actually for diarrhea, so it's like gonna stop you up. But this is for like the jam. If you make it with the sloes, is like mildly laxative, but most fruit is. It's like a plum.
Yeah,
It's
I was
like
gonna say, especially, I mean, that's like plums are prunes, and so we know that prunes are laxatives, and it's a type of
exactly.
prune.
Yeah, like if you need to poop, you should go eat some dried fruit. Like,
Yeah.
go eat a prune.
Um, My
Okay.
sister, this is so random, but
Uh-huh.
my sister had texted me,
Ah.
and the prunes, I guess, are in season in the grocery stores. And
Uh-huh.
she was like, and we grew up on prunes. I was like my mom's favorite fruit. And so we eat a lot of them. She's like, I just ate like 5 prunes in one setting and our 5 plums in one setting. Why didn't I know that they're essentially prunes? Because I've been on the toilet all day. I was like,
That's
how
horrible.
did you not know that?
Oh my gosh.
So funny.
Like my belly is so sensitive and it's sensitive to emotions. Like, so if you do have diarrhea, then you can make the flower tea. And especially if a child has diarrhea or somebody with a child's constitution like me, like an
Mm.
infant. So you can use that. And then it's also good for indigestion. So in Ireland, they use the leaves for indigestion. In the British Isles, they use the flowers for bladder and kidney problems. And the flowers are supposed to stimulate your appetite. So there you go. Externally, okay, so a flower tea is supposed to help you with skin problems, but this is the concept behind it. It's not because it helps you with skin problems. It's because it's supposed to cleanse the blood and the liver. Now,
Mm.
I'm not really sure about like this. This is a big concept in natural medicine
Mm.
that I don't know that if I'm sold on it or not. Like I
Yeah.
always had kind of like a weird idea. Like I don't think like these herbs are cleansing your blood, maybe. Maybe they
Yeah.
are. Maybe I'm wrong, but like if I think you're I don't know. Like
Yeah. And
yeah.
like, no, to be fair, I don't like, I'm not often searching this out, but I don't know, like, how is it allegedly cleaning the blood? I
Yeah.
don't, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And you could and you know what? I think like acne and stuff, like skin acne, like especially if like it's a lot to do with hormones, you know?
Mm.
It's a lot
Yeah.
to do with all sorts of other stuff. There's a lot of things that could be caused, but I don't know that like dirty blood is at the root of your acne.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So also it's supposed to help warts, and this is great. Okay, so you can rub a snail on your wart, and then you can impale the snail on a blackthorn spike.
Keep going. I'm gonna feed my crow friends.
Perfect. Then you can, okay, so a green sloe would be like like one of the fruits before it's ripe. It would be green. So you rub the wart with a green sloe and then you throw it over your left shoulder. Okay? So that's it. So now you can also apply the juice of fresh berries to mouth sores and also use it for sore throats.
Kind of
It's
like
a good,
Hawthorne.
what?
Kind of like Hawthorne.
Yeah. Well, it's like its counterpart. Hawthorn is like white thorn. It's thorn, and this is
Oh, right,
black
right,
thorn.
right. Yeah, you said that.
So fevers, you can use an infusion of the root bark for fevers.
Mm.
For coughs and sore throats, you can use the sloes. So this is the thing. Okay, this is great. This is a quote. This is a great saying. I love these little old wives' tale sayings. By the end of October, go gather up sloes. Have now in readiness plenty of those, and keep them in bedstraw or still on the bough to stay both the flux of thyself and the cow. So
Hmm. Nice.
that's from Boyer, Under the Witching Tree.
Mm.
So bronchitis. So the Romany would boil the bark and drink it with sugar for bronchitis. So it's supposed to, if you chew the leaves or the fruit, it's supposed to lower your blood pressure. And so an old morning after pill. So this is like if you were not so smart about what you were doing the night before. And what you would do is you would mix sloe gin, and we're going to talk about how to make that, with pennyroyal and valerian.
Mm.
Drink that down.
We've done one. I don't remember. I think we did record it on Pennyroyal and how it's like kind of the number one best like abortifacient.
Yeah. So I'll put it, if we have a recording of that, I'll post a link. So and it can be a tonic too. So they're all alcohol tonics. So start drinking. Okay. You can make sloe gin. And so this is what you do. In the autumn, you're supposed to pick the sloes and you're supposed to prick them. So 4 cups of sloes and you're supposed to prick them. Not with the spines, because remember the spines have all the bacteria. You're supposed to prick them with something else, maybe like a fork, right?
Mm.
And you fill up the jar, a big jar, like one of those big old jars, okay? And then you add about 2.5 cups of brown sugar and a quart of gin, and you let it steep, okay, in a dark place until Christmas, and you shake it every day. And that's sloe gin, okay?
Nice.
And then also some sort of sloe wine can be a tonic as well. So that's it. So now here are the sources. And I want to like show you these sources. So I'm going to get them out because I
Mm.
want to show them to you because there's some fun things here.
Sorry, I
Uh-huh.
finally made friends with a crow out here, and I've been feeding her every day. But it's only been like a week that I've been feeding her every day, and so every time she comes up, I'm trying to like feed her. And so
Nice.
she came up and flew away, and then I thought she came back up, but she didn't.
So this is Franklin, and this is the one I use. It's called the Hearth Witches like Compendium.
Mm-hmm.
It's a goodie, okay? I'm like up for some new books. Like I go on like these like deep dives of books. So this is one that I like, and I actually have a really thick one of
Oh,
this.
I have that.
Yeah, it's the Witch's Crafts Book One, Herbs and Oils. So
Mm,
it's this one, but I also have another one by Briggs.
mm,
That's like it includes this, but it includes
mm,
other things too. And then we talked about the Hopman books. So these are the two
mm,
Hopman books, Ellen Everett Hopman. And
mm.
this is the Druids one, the Sacred Tree Medicine.
Nice.
Okay, and there's a Druids herbal too that she does that I have that's not about trees, but we're talking about trees. So,
Mm,
and this was the Samhain, Sacred Herbs of
nice.
Samhain. And then this one's expensive, but it's good. Under the Witching Tree. So
I just got
Corinne
that one.
Boyer. Highly recommended. And I have all three of her books. She has two other ones too that I really like. And then this one's a good one too. Fed
Oh, yes, I have that one
Incrite, and
too.
it's yeah, Botanical Curses and Poisons.
Mm,
It's a goodie.
yeah, I like that one.
So just thought I'd share those with you.
Nice.
I think I'm going to go on a deep dive tonight, even though I should be doing homework. I think I'm just going to go on a deep dive of books and spend money I shouldn't be spending on more herb books because why not? You can never have too many. Except for, you know what? Sometimes I buy them and I'm like irritated by them. So I've got to like,
Yeah, that's a thing about like witchy books is like if you buy them in the store, it's nice because you can flip through it. But if you're buying it online, you just have to kind of, I don't know, trust that you're gonna align with whatever it says, and sometimes it's like not good.
you know what? Sometimes I just don't like like, there's only like, I don't know. Sometimes they're just not good. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of other ones that I really like, so I'll try to like do it, like show you different ones each time that I have.
Yeah.
But you know, some of them are just, I don't
Yeah.
know, they irritate me. Anyway,
Yeah.
they've like minimal or I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that is that for my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed Blackthorn as much as I do. I wish I was in Ireland so that I could go see a blackthorn tree, a prune.
For multiple reasons, I wish I was in Ireland.
Exactly. Yep.
Mm.
And we will see you. Oh, like and share below, and we will see you at the next Ditch Witch Diary.